Okay?
Name one nutrient they can't get from vegan cat food.
Forgive me if I misunderstand something. But if we are going to give animals the same rights as humans, wouldn't that give you lifetime in prison if you stepped on an ant? Or do you draw the line at any form of sentience?
No, ants have a very, very low level of sentience, if they're sentient at all. They're also all over the place, and they live very short lives. It's pretty much impossible to avoid stepping on an ant your entire life, and they're carnivorous. So there's a variety of factors for why you wouldn't be interested in prosecuting somebody for stepping on an ant. Like, again, they don't live long anyway. They're extremely low on the sentience hierarchy. There are so many of them and they're all over the place and they're so small, it's impossible to not end up killing them. And they're carnivorous, so they'll kill and eat other animals. So there's not really an interest in keeping them alive. But thanks for the donation, VMark. Appreciate it.
Their diet primarily consists of meat, non negotiable. Okay?
Oh, Vince is in the chat. Hey, Vince, do you want to debate me on the vegan cats issue? Because I am free right now if you want to throw down about vegan cats.
No different than those wolf dogs that you had that Jasmine properly fed meat.
Yeah, so the wolf dog we had an enzyme deficiency. It's called EPI. It's enzymatic pancreatic insufficiency, something like that. That's the abbreviation for the disease. Once we fed her enzymes, she was on a vegan diet and did just fine. Um, think Jasmine was only feeding her meat for like a few weeks, but she was still losing weight, and she still couldn't. She couldn't digest her food. She was having diarrhea no matter what we fed her. So you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Too. Okay? Properly. Animals, I mean, that are carnivores, carnivore means a diet of primarily meat. You can't change the nature of a carnivorous animal such as a cat.
You don't have to change their nature. You just have to give them the nutrition they need, and that doesn't need to come from meat.
If you set a can of tuna in front of a cat and you set a stalk of celery, cat's gonna go towards the tuna.
I could argue that if you put a can of tuna in front of a cat, and you put I don't know, a milkshake next to the can of tuna, the cat might prefer the milkshake. Does that mean a milkshake with ice cream and shit in it, is that better for the cat because the cat prefers the taste?
Now, even with your cat, if you set up a can of tuna in front of him, Perismo will go for that can of tuna.
Prismo will also go for donuts. We can't leave donuts on the counter with the box open because Prismo will eat the donuts. So what does that mean? Animals will eat plenty of different things.
Period.
Like, you can find videos of people feeding steak to deer. Let me see. That's not it. Okay, the video might be taken down or something, but
This cow is eating a snake, and this deer is eating a bird. Now you might be wondering, why would herbivores
animals will eat whatever the fuck they think tastes good. What does this have to do with anything? E6262 donated tellers got blocked by Scientific Snitch on TikTok within minutes of pointing out that she completely took a clip of the debate out of context in an attempt to misrepresent your position. Stupid B word is gulping down so much copium beyond cringe. Yeah, seriously. It is insane. I can message her on Instagram and just tell her if she wants to come on stream and point out any contradiction I made during the debate, she can. Saw some of your TikToks and they are nonsense. You claimed I contradicted myself, but you weren't able to point out a single contradiction. You feel like I have contradicted myself. Feel free to message me and come on my streams and chat and explain how I contradicted myself. By the way, you're terrible when it comes to logic. Your arguments in favor of free will were question begging, and you didn't seem to understand what that meant, and you contradicted yourself when I asked you to name the trait. There we go. Whatever.
The only reason why your cat is not eating meat is because you don't keep meat around. You don't allow it to eat meat. Okay?
That is correct, Vince. And if I had children, the only reason they wouldn't eat meat is because I don't allow them to. I also wouldn't allow my kids to smoke crack. Plenty of kids smoke crack. If I had kids, I wouldn't let them smoke crack either, even if they wanted to. What point are you trying to make?
Now, as far as to whether this consists of animal abuse, the answer is going to be no. Richard is the caretaker of Perismo. He has the right to feed the cat whatever he wishes. And as long as the vegan product has the proper nutrients that is able to keep the cat healthy, that's perfectly fine, as far as that's concerned. It's not animal abuse. Animal abuse is if you're flinging cats, setting them on fire like they do. Well, I'm not going to mention the country because they're fighting amongst each other and everything like that.
Humans are the only species that can think, reason and read, and are also the only species that can vote, can write, that go to the moon and even has the cockpit of Ikuchi. None of with animals have. Also, them being sentient alone is not enough.
That's great, Dodo. Maybe if you made a proper sentence, I could understand that. Thanks for the donation, dude.
I don't want to piss off anyone or anything like that. But, animal abuse would be setting cats on fire.
Aaron Peter Nutella, show Vince the vegan tuna for cats. Don't remember where I saw it. Well, there is vegan tuna. I don't think it's made for cats, though. Thanks for the donation, dude.
And starving them basically to death. So, Vegan Gains, my cousin, is not committing animal abuse. Okay, cut that out. He's the caretaker. He's free to feed his cat or any of his animals as he wishes, as long as they are in good health. Perismo looks like, as far as that cat is concerned, it looks like it's in good health.
Goddamn right. He's a big, strong, handsome kitty. Look at him. He's special. He's a big, strong, handsome vegan kitty.
But let it be known, folks, and to my cousin once again, stop yelling at other vegans because they feed their cats meat. Because again, a cat is a carnivore, it's an obligate carnivore. It's supposed to eat meat.
That is a normative claim. Make an argument for that normative claim.
You won't be able to change the nature of a cat. You can feed your cat a vegan diet, it's still going to be a carnivore. And the minute you go and set a can of tuna in front of them, It's going to chow down like Charlie Brown. That's all I got to say for right now. Like and subscribe.
That's like saying certain people are crackivores. If you leave a crack pipe for someone, they're gonna smoke crack. Like, what does that matter? I don't care if somebody has a natural inclination to do something. I care about whether or not it's ethical for them to do that. Anyway, at least you acknowledge that cats can be healthy on a vegan diet, so that's all I really care about.
Nutrients, carbs, fat, and protein. What they should be doing is also calculating the micronutrients, which they are not getting from the garbage that they are eating. They ate the cornflakes with some kind of milk. I'm going to assume that it was skim milk, which doesn't have any nutrients anyway. Even pasteurized
Skim milk does have nutrition in it. It's probably more nutritionally dense than whole milk because it's lower in calories, so per serving you're getting more nutrition.
whole fat milk doesn't have anything because the pasteurization destroys everything, and that was for sure not raw milk. And bananas, which have some potassium, some electrolytes, but really nutritionally, again, nothing when it comes to micronutrients, which means that the body is going to be craving micronutrients all day long. And these girls who are overweight really just crave, just like any human being, micronutrients. Once you have all of the micronutrients that you need,
there is no evidence whatsoever that micronutrients actually affect hunger. If he's going to claim that, like, show evidence, you'd think if that theory were true, then feeding people something like multivitamins would be an extremely effective strategy for controlling hunger, but it's not. So if the micronutrient hypothesis of hunger were true, again, doing things like feeding people multivitamins would kill their appetite, but it doesn't. People who have no nutritional deficiencies should have very low levels of hunger, but that's not the case.
Why do people spew the same stupid bullshit trying to argue against veganism? Why don't they do 5 minutes of research? Why is everyone such a goddamn idiot animal abuser? Yo Christy, you are fucking retarded, you ignore all logic, go fuck yourself, I'm gig, fuck you. Humans are also the only species that can do math and have long division and can pass a test. You wanted me to name the trot and I just named a ton there. Humans are not equal to animals based on all the tracts I named.
Well, chickens can actually do math. They can add and subtract, so that's not true. Secondly, there are humans that are incapable of doing math, that are mentally disabled. So are you okay with holocausting mentally disabled people and turning them into burgers? Thanks for the nation, though, Dodo. Yeah, Gigliardo, just most people are dumb, selfish, and dishonest as fuck. And it's pretty goddamn maddening. Thanks for the donation, though, Gig.
you don't have these crazy food cravings. When you eat this kind of garbage, you're gonna crave food all of the time. If you would be eating a lot of even muscle meat, but ideally, of course, organs, liver, heart, brain, you would want to eat way less food overall. Plus, you would lose the extra excess weight that you have. It would be so much easier. Instead, they have to force themselves to try to eat this, then to walk these extra steps and probably also exercise on top of that just to somehow lose the weight. It's really horrible. I could make people lose weight so easily and they would be happy while doing it. And these people make so much money from such garbage. It's crazy. They have rich parents, I assume.
It's kind of a peanut butter substitute. It has a little bit less calories.
The school has created a scale of how full a person feels after a meal, with the aim of curbing appetite.
I'm at a 5, so I'll probably have another piece of fruit and be at a 6.
Peanut butter doesn't have the kind of fat which our bodies are made of, but still some of it.
Yes, they do. So any kind of fat you consume is going to be added to your adipose tissue. If you
Any new Frank vids?
None that I can watch. He only made a new video talking about some family channel that has a toddler. I can't watch that because there's a baby in the video the entire time. But other than that, he hasn't made any new content. Thanks for the donation, though, James. I totally lost my train of thought.
Some of it is going to be made of, but
Yeah, so if you consume any type of fat, and you're in a caloric surplus, that same fat is going to be in your adipose tissue. So no, any fat you consume is used by your body. It's part of your body. I don't know what he means by that.
still, some of it is going to be stored together with the banana, seeing as you're consuming mostly plant oils, not actual fat, with carbohydrates, as I said, which you
Plant oils are fat.
still shouldn't combine, even though it's not actual animal fat. And this will lead to some weight gain. This is
No, what leads to weight gain is a caloric surplus. There's no combination of macronutrients that will make you gain weight. It's a caloric surplus that will make you gain weight. He's talking about the insulin theory of weight gain. It's being completely debunked. You can have insulin levels through the fucking roof. If you are in a caloric deficit, you'll still lose weight. Like it's thermodynamics.
This is exactly what you should not be doing. You should not be eating small portions and counting calories when you're eating oils or fats together with carbohydrates. You shouldn't be doing that at all.
Yep. We usually shoot for a 6 at meals. It pretty much means like pretty good to go, but still slightly hungry. So I want to shoot for a 6, so I probably have another orange.
They're learning to live with feeling hungry. Kaylee is 18.
That is so dumb. Seriously. That's basically like torture.
She's from Texas. She entered.
There are some people who do just need to learn to live with being hungry, plain and simple. Their appetite is just out of control, and if they were to eat as much, like until they're full with every meal, they'd gain weight like crazy. On top of that, generally speaking, this is the case for most people. If you lower your calories, and you'll temporarily feel hungry, but if you follow that same diet long enough, you won't feel hungry anymore. Your body just adjusts to what you're eating. So your stomach will shrink. Some of the hormones that control hunger, like what is it, ghrelin and shit, those will all leptin and ghrelin, those will adjust, and then you won't feel hungry anymore on your current diet. Dodo $92. Is it true that over-consuming unsaturated fat makes body fat more jiggly and over-consuming saturated fat makes it firmer? I have not seen any evidence to suggest that. Since saturated fats are more solid at room temperature, I have not seen any evidence to suggest that. It's an interesting idea, but I've not seen that at all. Thanks for that donation, though, Dodo.
The academy weighing 240 pounds. She has now lost almost 45 pounds.
Okay, she has lost 45 pounds. Congratulations. Is that sustainable? Is it sustainable to eat this way and to always feel hungry, not eating enough? No, of course not. They will go back home and gain weight again. This is a terrible boot camp because what they're promoting is torture and weight loss within the boot camp, but weight gain when you're outside again, which means
No, not necessarily. I don't know what their whole protocol is. I haven't seen enough to really say that's the case. But yeah, people do need to get used to feeling hungry sometimes, especially when you're talking about people who are chronically overweight. Yeah, they probably need to get used to the idea of feeling a bit hungry.
that you will come back and spend more money.
Kaylee owes the weight loss to Lindsay. She teaches the students healthy eating habits. Today, Lindsay's nutrition class is highlighting the danger of eating salt-rich food. High sodium content can lead to problems with blood pressure and water retention.
Salt and sodium are not the same thing, but I wouldn't expect them to teach that they're...
Now that has fiber in it. All right, guys, so we're going to talk a little bit about sodium today. How much sodium do you think is the recommendation?
1,000.
1,000. So general for all Americans, we're saying about 2,300 milligrams. Take a look at...
Meat has around 50 milligrams of sodium per 100 grams. Let's say that if you're a man, you would be eating around a kilogram of meat a day, then you would be consuming 500 milligrams of sodium a day. That's more or less the natural amount, not 2,300.
The things you usually eat at home, out, fast food, at restaurants, and we're going to bring up that nutrition content that we've looked at before and take a look at the sodium in some of our favorite.
Well, I did Chick-fil-A, and my favorite one was the highest one.
Okay.
It's always high.
What the fuck moment, donate dollars. What the fuck is this even possible? Lol, let me see. Is that a Muslim band?